I believe that China has to deal with a number of obvious conflicts that have arisen as China's economy keeps growing at a very spectacular rate. We also see social conflicts developing because public policies like social security, old age pension cannot catch up with the rapid growth of the economy.
I think the Chinese government must know there is a lot of dissatisfaction within the country, and that's why this year the budget on maintaining stability is even more higher than the budget for military expenses. So they want to suppress the people so that the country can be stable, which of course is the wrong way forward. They must understand why the people are so upset, so unhappy, why there are so many demonstrations, uprisings, and so on. And of course, the people are very angry with a very corrupt government, which does not look after the welfare of the people. And also the people have no right to elect the government. And the officials are there because they are party members. And many of them are very, very corrupt.
The first problem, of course, is it's huge. There are lots of people, and some people are less educated, and the living standards are difficult, and therefore China really, for stability reasons, need to improve the living standards, education level, and really to narrow the gap between the rich and the poor. China, of course, always want to have a harmonious society, but really, I think the crux is harmonious doesn't mean everybody keep quiet because they're too afraid to speak their mind. Harmonious really means that, there can be divergent views, but then everybody have a freedom to express them, and you don't feel oppressed, and there are sort of fair systems where everybody's rights are equally respected and treated.
If you talk about respect for human rights and freedoms, the track record for the past 3-4 years has been quite pathetic. Of course, the most obvious examples would be Ai Weiwei, Liu Xiaobo. This may be evidence of the governing party demonstrating some internal lack of confidence in those in governing position in the mainland.
I think China has to, like in the past, I think they did have a kind of a review of the history of Cultural Revolution, and then had the party actually have an official verdict on the nature of the Cultural Revolution. I think the important point is that the Chinese government needs to actually face the past history and let the people talk about it, and then discuss about past issues like Tiananmen and also other kinds of various wrongdoings of the government in the past, and that would be very important in order for the government to actually face its past and then pave the way for further reforms.
I think there should be free press in the first place. If you don't allow the media to expose the wrongdoing of the society or to tell the people the truth. So how can, it's just like your eyes have been blindfolded. So how can you really have any investigation of what is going wrong? And what happened in Russia is that once you allow the free press, that means the hegemony of the communists will be gone anyway. So it's like a vicious cycle, whether they would like to have a free press society in order to have the reform or not.
The Chinese government is so frightened of its own people speaking their minds. That's why even Premier Wen Jiabao said publicly that Chinese people dare not be frank and honest. It's very, very sad. But Hong Kong is the freest city in mainland China. On June 4th, we're going to see hundreds of thousands of people gathering in Victoria Park to attend a candlelight vigil to commemorate the massacre that took place in Beijing on June 4th in 1989. We have the rule of law, which is a British legacy from colonial days. We enjoy freedoms, but even our freedoms are shrinking because China is interfering in Hong Kong affairs, and that's very sad. And actually, many Chinese people want us to continue to be free, and they themselves hope that they will also be free one day.
For a country to move forward, the leaders really got to acknowledge past mistakes and really got to be fair and true to history. And June 4th is particularly important incident where you would expect the current leaders, if they want to move forward to gain the confidence of the people, that they would be willing to acknowledge the mistake for June 4th.
It was this place called Hong Kong that has inspired Dr. Sun in formulating the ideas that he shared with us as to how the country should develop and how China could one day become a system that respects the rule of law and democracy. It is important for today's Chinese to once again reckon the importance of Hong Kong as a very uniquely placed city in China that has served as a driving force for modernization of the country in the past 2 centuries. And if we want Hong Kong to be able to continue to play this role, it is all the more important for us to keep our values and to sustain our institutions. This is the best way that Hong Kong can continue to serve our country.
I think Hong Kong will continue to play an important role in terms of the openness of China to the whole world, because Hong Kong has been playing an important role in introducing Western capitalist management, technology, and all kinds of information into China. But I think but with the opening up of China economically, I think Hong Kong politically still has much to offer. I think the experience of Hong Kong shows that a Chinese society, an ethnically Chinese society, can be managed very effectively, law-abiding, and then corruption-free, and then free without with stability and prosperity. So I think Hong Kong's society actually has a lot of reference value for China.
We should, as people of Hong Kong, we should take a more humble attitude when we look at the very rapid changes that are now taking place in other parts of China. It is not only what other parts of China can learn from Hong Kong. We should also ask ourselves what we can learn from the development in other parts of China, including political development.
We Hong Kong people must exercise these rights and these freedoms in a responsible way to inspire the rest of China to feel that being, speaking the truth and being vigilant on your human rights do not in any way destabilize the country, and does not in any way mean we are not patriotic. And I think, we will all emerge to become a stronger and fairer society this way.
For the Hong Kong Pan-Democrats, whether they have the vision on the Chinese democracy or not, I think that is the number one, is the fundamental. If they treat themselves like just a small party or a political force on a small island on the southward of China, you can forget about it. If they take their position like they are part of the Chinese Democratic Party, and if they have the vision on that, and then they got a mission, how to make use of Hong Kong for the mainland democratic process. We stand up here, not just for ourselves. It's for our brother and sister in mainland.
I don't think anyone can tell the future, can see the future as far as that. Right? 10 years ago, who would have been able to foresee, the kind of political, economic development we are now seeing in China? So I don't think anyone can really predict how things will stand up. Who, say, a year ago, who could have foreseen things happening in North Africa and the Middle East, in the Arabian countries?
In fact, I'm quite sure that China will be changing for the better. I think it is really for us in Hong Kong and also the rest of the world to keep developments in China under due vigilance, and we really want to do as much as we can to bring to the next generation in China the world values of respect for the rule of law, human rights, and freedoms.
More and more people in China will be educated, and they will be more open to the world, because internet is an unstoppable means of communication. And I also see Chinese people being more world citizens, and therefore wider in terms of their horizon and their perspective. I really think values are the most important thing next to knowledge, and then I think their values probably will change, and I hope more Chinese people will subscribe to universal values and therefore come to respect human lives and human rights.
I don't know. Now things are changing so fast. We just hope that in less than 20 or 30 years, we will see a free and democratic and prosperous China.